guys, I'm Maddie from Portland Escape Rooms, and today I'm going to teach you how to do like a really basic zombie face. And the reason I say it's basic is because I'm literally just going to teach you how to put the paint on and do contour, I guess, to kind of emaciate your face, and then a little later I'll teach you a couple of wounds that I do to really make it pop. But this is just the basic bottom layer. It's super easy. You can do it with pretty much any face paint you find at home. So, supplies. The supplies that I use to do this look are a concealer stick like this. I bought it for like $3 at like Walgreens or something. A foundation, a cream foundation that is a few shades lighter than my skin tone. This one's actually 1 shade lighter than my skin tone because I'm super pasty. But if you can find like 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, that is preferable. And then I'm going to use 2 different Ben Nye face paint palettes. This is the Death Wheel, and this is, I'm throwing it. This is the Bruise Wheel, and the reason I use 2 different is because they're 2 different greens that I like to use. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that my face is clean and my hair is out of the way. So if you have long hair, you want to tie it up. I usually use this hairstyle for zombie. I kind of mess it up a little bit, but this works fine, keeps it out of my face. Before you put any makeup on your face, you always want to make sure you do a patch test and make sure that you are not allergic to it. The way you do a patch test is you take your makeup that you want to test and you put it just in a little patch on your wrist like that. Don't cover it, don't do anything to it, and leave it there for about 2 hours. Because this here and also behind your ear is a really good place to put it, that will make sure that if you're going to have an allergic reaction to it, it's small, and you'll be able to tell pretty much within the first hour or so if it's going to be a problem. Always do a patch test, especially if you're putting things on your face like liquid latex or spirit gum or something that doesn't normally go on your face, because the last thing you want is to be getting ready for a Halloween party and then break out all over your face and have to go, you know, to the hospital or something. So always do a patch test first. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and use my concealer to kind of blank out the redder, healthier looking parts of my face. So I'm going to start with my lips and then also do my cheeks, where I tend to get really red, and kind of around my nose I get red there too. I do my cheeks and my nose because when I do zombie for the zombie room, I get really hot and it makes my face flushed, and so the more I can kind of conceal that, the more I'll look dead. So I'm going to do my lips first. Okay, simple as that. I just kind of put it all around my lips and then blended it out a little bit with my finger. And as you can see, that does a lot for making me look a lot paler. And next I'm going to do my cheeks. It's kind of a wide swath where I tend to get red. And then blend it out. Kind of get under my nose too. And then the other side. I actually tend to get redder on this cheek than this one, so I do more on this side. One of the best things you can do for yourself when you are doing makeup like this is to really get to know your face. Get to know kind of your bone structure, the areas where you tend to get red or the areas where you tend to get like oily or sweaty, because then you'll know where to focus your makeup efforts. So that's all done. I used my concealer to kind of wash my face out. The next thing I'm going to do is put down a base layer of this light green here. I really like this light green because it gives you a nice like grayish green zombie look, but you can really sub in any lighter gross kind of color. There's this blue-gray that's really nice as well, or this other green would work really well if you want to go like much greener. I like the light green because I think it washes out the natural kind of ruddiness of my skin tone. So I'm just gonna use my little makeup triangle here and just kind of do a light wash of green kind of all over my face, and it doesn't have to really be blended in because that's what we're going to use the concealer for in a second. But I'm just going to get all the areas of my face, except for my eyes. I'm going to leave my eyes alone, and I'll show you why in a little bit. Because I'm going to be zombieing later, I'm also going to get my ears too. Remember that you have ears, and it will really complete the illusion if your ears are also gross looking. I don't know if you can hear that, but the phone's ringing in the background. Don't worry about it, it's fine. Don't mind me turning around. I'm just keeping an eye on the time because I do have an event a little later today, and so I don't want to run into trouble time-wise. I'm also dragging the makeup down my neck as well, and as you can see, I'm wearing my scrubs. This is the costume that I wear to zombie in. They're kind of gross looking. You'll generally, if you're gonna zombie or do anything with like messy makeup, you either want to wear your costume while you're putting your makeup on, or have like a specific makeup shirt that you don't mind getting messy, because some makeup can get really messy and it can stain clothes. So you don't want to wear something that you like, you know, a nice shirt that you really like when you're doing makeup, because you might ruin it. Okay, so I've got my basic green wash on my face, and it's kind of blotchy. It's not like super blended in, but that's fine because that's what I'm going to use the cream foundation for. This is going to help wash out my freckles if you're a freckly person like I am. This is going to help a lot. I love my freckles a lot, but I don't think they're very menacing looking. So I like to do what I can to kind of wash them out, and so I'm not like I don't know, Pippi Longstocking or like Little Orphan Annie or something as the zombie. And so I'm using actually quite a lot of foundation, like more than I would use if I was just putting foundation on. And I'm using it to blend with the green and spread it into all those kind of blotchier areas on my face, so I get a nice even green all around, and I'm bringing it up underneath my eyes as well. Now, as you can see, I'm not going for like Kermit green or anything. I just want kind of a subtle green wash. The other reason that I picked this green instead of the other green is because in the zombie room, the lighting that we have in there is kind of blue, and so anything that's green or a bluer green is going to look a lot greener underneath the lights. So I'm not trying to go for like a super green because it's just I'm gonna look like Kermit the Frog in there. Okay, my ears. The neck I don't worry about as much because I do want people to be looking at my face, not my neck. But you know, it's nice to be thorough. The back of my neck too. bow my head a lot, as the zombie people see the back of my neck a lot. I don't want it to look like, you know, fresh, healthy skin. Okay, so I've got my kind of blended green wash there. And the next thing I'm going to do is start my contouring. So when you do a contour like this, remember that you're not trying to change the shape of your face, because that's just not going to work. What you want to do instead of trying to completely change the shape of your face is pick out a couple of features that you want to either accentuate or downplay and use contouring to do that. So for me, for example, I spend a lot of time, you know, trying to figure out what my bone structure is, what my face looks like, and how best to accentuate specific features of it to make me look more zombie-like. So for example, I have really sunken eyes naturally. My eyes are kind of tired looking and deep set in my face. So I'm going to use a darker color to accentuate the fact that they're very deep set in my face and make them even deeper. On the other hand, I have a very round face. You can see it when I smile. I've got kind of the chipmunk cheeks going on. I want to look more gaunt and kind of hangdog and hungry, because that's kind of the main thing that zombies are, is hungry. So I'm going to use a contour to deepen the space underneath my cheekbones and underneath my chin as well, to kind of not change the shape of my face but downplay the fact that I have this very round face. I'm also going to do a contour up on my forehead like this, and that's going to help give my face more dimension under the lights and make me look angrier. And then you'll also see me hollow my temples out. That's a really good trick if you're looking for something quick. Just put a little dark spot on your temples, and that'll do a lot for making you look really tired and gaunt and kind of dead. So the first thing I'm going to do is my eyes, and then I'm going to drag it down into my nose as well, and you'll see me kind of thin out my nose and then pull down through my mouth, because I do a lot of acting with my mouth and I've already got this big shadowy kind of crease here, and so I want to accentuate that as well. So you're going to see me use two colors on here, which is the green, the darker green here, and the blue here. And the reason I do the green under the blue is that the blue it kind of goes on really purple, and the green helps downplay the purpleness and make it look a little more natural and less clowny. Again, I cannot emphasize enough that you are not using contouring to change the shape of your face. You are using it to accentuate or downplay features that you already have and use those features to your advantage. So, one great tip that I've heard a couple of times is if you're looking for if you're going for a specific look with your makeup, but you don't know how to do it, you should use makeup tutorials from people who have similar face shapes to you. And the reason that is because they're going to be using contouring tricks and other types of makeup that are going to best benefit your face shape. The other thing you want to do is look for people, like if you're really freckly like me, then, you know, my stuff to make the freckles look less apparent is going to help you out a lot. But if you're not super freckly, then that's not really something that you're going to be interested in. You know what I mean? So look for someone with a similar complexion to you, similar face shape to you, and that's going to help you out a lot. So I put down the base layer of green here, and I'm just kind of touching it up as I see it. And now I'm going to go in just real lightly with this blue purple. And kind of blend that in as well. I like to make sure I have a really clean line in here, because that's going to be the deepest part of my eye, and I don't want it to drift up into my nose. I really want it to be just my eye socket. Okay, and then once I have that layer down, I can go ahead and deepen the places that I want to be darker. So my eyelid right underneath my brow bone, and kind of this, you see this natural like kind of dark triangle that I have underneath my eyes. I want to really highlight that as well. Great, so do you see what I mean by blended? Like it's darker in certain places and then it kind of bleeds out into the rest of my face? That's all that that means. I know that when I first started watching like makeup tutorials, I was always like, what do you mean blended? What does that mean? Basically it just means that it disappears into the rest of the face. It looks natural, it looks less like makeup. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side. I use my fingers a lot for makeup. That's just kind of a personal preference for me. I like being able to feel where the makeup is going. I feel like it gives me more control over what's happening to my face. But you can definitely do this with a sponge like this or Q-tips, whatever you are most comfortable with. I move my face around a lot too as I'm doing makeup. I'll open my mouth and make my eyes wide, and just to see how it looks with different expressions. Sometimes I'll at myself in the mirror just to make sure I don't look too silly. I mean, you gotta embrace looking a little bit silly. That's acting. Great, so there's my eyes. As you can see, I've deepened them a lot to just darken those places. And then I'm actually going to grab my Q-tip now because I want a thinner line for this one, and I'm going to do my nose. So what you're going to see me do is a green stripe down either side of my nose, and then a highlight kind of around my nostrils as I flare them. If you can flare your nostrils on command, that helps a lot. If you can't, that's okay. I just want to highlight because when I get nasty, my nostrils tend to flare, and accentuating that will help with just accentuating my like angry face in general. So I'm just going to go down my nose like that, and then around my nostril like this. And then the same thing on the other side. Great, and while I'm at it, I'm going to pull it down the sides of my mouth. And I'm going to blend that one out pretty far because I don't want it to be super green in there. And then with the exact same end of the Q-tip, I'm gonna just dab the blue purple onto there, like so, and kind of dot it onto exactly the places where I just put the green. And let it get lighter as it comes down. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. That's pretty dark. So I'm going to go in with a clean finger and kind of lighten it up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to blend it with my fingers. So I start just kind of up and down the nose, like so, and then I pull it like that. Down the nose and then pull it. And I'm going to go around my nostril like that and pull it, especially under my nose, and then down the side of my mouth. So that's what it looks like blended out, and that's what it looks like not blended. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Pull it down and then out. Great, and then I'm going to do underneath my nose just with that same Q-tip as well. Just because, you know, this is going to sound super vain, but I have a very cute nose and I want it to be less cute. So what I just did is just like thinned out the bridge of my nose and kind of made it look more skeletal and less like there, you know, I have kind of a button nose. And I'm gonna pull that actually up onto the tip of my nose and blend it out so that it's not as prominent on my face. Great, I'm starting to look really nasty. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So next I'm gonna do my temples. Same exact thing, I'm going to put the green down first, and the way I'm going to do it is not a circle. I'm going to do a line like this, kind of starting from the bottom of my eyebrow going up into my hairline like that, and then I'm going to pull it down like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Take my purple and then just kind of sweep that top line so it's not quite as prominent. Pull it down into the rest of my makeup. So I'm actually going to put a little more purple here and pull it. Great. And you see that already gives a lot more dimensionality to my forehead and makes it look like my face is more angular planes, which is what I want. Zombies aren't very round, they're kind of sharp. And I'm not a very sharp featured person. I almost said I'm not a very sharp person. That's not what I meant. I'm not a very sharp featured person, and so the more I can do to just kind of make my face more plainer, the more it's going to help with the illusion. Next I'm going to do my forehead, and I'm actually going to use my Q-tip again. I'm going to use the clean side of it this time. I don't want to put that purple down too soon. And starting from kind of the upper top corner of my eyebrow right here, I'm going to go along this kind of natural shadow of my face up into my hairline. Just like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Like that. And I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to get my purple on the same end of my Q-tip and kind of dot it in the same way, and then drag and pull it. This one I want it to be softer than what I did for my eyes. I want it to be less of a shadow because my forehead doesn't, it's not like pointy. It's just got more dimensionality than the washed out look will give me. time. Doing great. Okay, so that's what I want there, and then I'm actually gonna pull this part of my forehead down, so you'll see me do kind of an artificial widow's peak here. I'm just gonna use that exact same Q-tip. You can use another Q-tip if you want to, but I'm a little lazy and I don't want to open that drawer. And then blend it up into my hairline here. And I'm not even going to use the purple on that one, I'm just going to use the green to shadow it out. I think Robert's here.
Hello.
Hi! I'm filming the makeup tutorial.
Say it again?
I'm filming the makeup tutorial.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Then I will see you then as well.
That's Robert.
Oh,
yeah.
You're doing it right now?
Yeah, I'm doing it now. I'm just doing the like base.
Oh, cool.
And then later I'm going to do the missing eye. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, enjoy it because she's quite good at these. So
Aw, shucks. Making me blush, but you can't tell because I'm gross. Okay, so next I'm gonna do my cheekbones. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. I have cute cheeks and I want them more hollow. So what you want to do for this one, this is a good one to do for zombie, the temples and the cheeks and the eyes are really the ones you want to focus on, is you want to kind of feel out where your natural cheekbone is. And if you're like me and you have a round face, it's gonna, you know, take a little bit of poking, but mine, the line is right here. So what I want to do is highlight just under where that cheekbone is and kind of have it come down from my hairline over here. So that's what you're going to see me do. Another good way to find out where your cheekbones are is if you suck in your cheeks like this. You can see it a lot easier. Also opening your mouth. So you see what I did there? I followed the line of my cheekbone and I had it become lighter as it comes out, and then I just pulled it on down. We do the same thing on the other side. See that? We're actually going to put a little more green on this one. Okay, great. Now I'm going to do the purple. And this is where I'm going to really kind of go ham on the purple because I want this to be pretty dark, especially up here. See how that kind of chips out the side? That's exactly what I want. Great. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is under my jawline, and then you're going to see me do 2 lines down my neck. It's a pretty quick finish for this look. Court's throwing things.
I'm throwing things again. Please tell me that was cotton tape.
Oh yes, of course. Gag reel.
There we go.
But it works. The nice thing about zombie makeup is if you like mess up, it doesn't matter because zombies are gross. And you can just kind of blend whatever you did into the other makeup and it looks like you did it on purpose. Okay, so that finishes up the base of the zombie look. Oh, actually no it doesn't. The last thing I do is just kind of scrape a little bit of this blue into my ears. I don't have to do it in any particular pattern, but that just kind of completes the look. So there you have it. The next thing I'm going to start doing is layering wounds over it, but wounds are for a different video, so I'll be back later. But that's all for now. Again, I'm Maddie, this is Portland Escape Rooms, and happy Halloween.